Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Let me welcome you on our today's webinar. The theme is clinical webinar and cardiovascular system. So we have agreed with Misha that we will start with the presentation, or she will start with the presentation of the cardiovascular system first. Then we already have some questions in our chat. So after the presentation, we will jump into the questions. And if there would be any more questions coming, I will always put them down to the chat so we can come to them later. So enjoy listening, and I'm passing over to Misha.
Hello, everyone. I'm really pleased to see you again. And let's start because we have a very wide theme today. Because today's topic is a cardiovascular system, which is very complex, and also I think the timing is absolutely great because the fire element season have just started. So let's start. Yes, this one we will show you later with the case studies. And so yes, we have element of fire already, uh, which is the element which is very demanding, especially for elderly ones, and actually for all of us. And because in May and June, even it doesn't seem now, the days are already becoming very warm, and the fire is on the top. And the fire season is represented by the yin organ of heart. And heart is the organ which traditional Chinese medicine believes that this is the home of the spirit of Shen. So this is one of the most important organs in our body. Actually, according to the Chinese medicine, the most important one. The Western medicine believes that the brain is running all the body, but the Chinese medicine believes that it's the heart which is running the body. And according to my experiences, so many people which are suffering with the cardiovascular system problems, they are usually worsening in this season. So that's why you can see so many people having heart attack. Even it's not that hot. It's the reason that this is the fire element season, and once the fire element is in disbalance, it's really showing up in this season. So the young organ is represented by small intestine. So many people which are suffering with the Crohn and other intestine inflammations, they have also problems in this season, and not in the spring. So I just met one client yesterday, and she told me that it worsened again. Even she's on the diet, so she didn't know where was the reason. And so we agreed that we will do measurements with the Supertronic. However, I believe that the reason is that the fire element season is here, and usually the problems can get a little bit worse in this time. Sensory organ is tongue. Tongue is very important because when we can see the people, they are having some disorder in the cardiovascular system. they are usually talking very quietly. They usually have problem to express themselves, and also there is some problem how to communicate, because once your heart is not opened and there is some blockade or some problem, the problem can be also through the communication and through the tongue. That's why so many people with the cardiovascular problems are also visible on the tongue. So the traditional Chinese medicine practitioners can see on the tongue that there is a problem with the heart. So the part of the body is like the central around the heart, and the taste is bitter. This is also another special thing, because we would believe that the bitter taste would represent the liver, the wood element, but no, it's the fire element. And as we already know, that the fire element is born from the wood. So once the wood is in disbalance, then the fire element won't be good as well. So always when we see some cardiovascular disorders, we should think, and that's maybe we can go back to the pentagram. We always should think that the fire is on the top, on the pentagram here, but it's affected from the water element as well. So sometimes the high blood pressure can be caused by the water, because the not lungs, the water element, and I forgot.
Misha, do you mean kidneys?
Yes, kidneys. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
So kidneys are in disbalance, and they are making the huge pressure, so the blood pressure can be high. And also there is the diagnostics which is needed, because we should know that this is the reason, because the fire can be too big or too low, or affected by the wood element, by livers, or affected by the water, by the kidneys, but also the spleen and pancreas can affect the heart. So you can see that the cardiovascular system is very complex problem, as always, as all the elements. So we should look very carefully. And I would say that here it's really important to be careful, because heart is very sensitive organ, and not only important, but sometimes oversensitive. So we should see the problem from many perspectives, and we should try to find the best way how to support the fire element where is some disbalance. What is very important, the heart element, the fire element brings the ability of communication, good memory, because as you know that there are old people, they are having good memory for old memories, all the things which happened 30-40 years ago. They can remember very clearly, because they are getting this memory. But short-term memory is the memory which is done by heart. So if you see someone who has problem with this memory, there can be also the problem with the fire element. And that doesn't mean that there must be the problem in cardiovascular system already checked on the tests from the doctors, but there can be some beginning, which is very, very slightly small. However, it's there already. Also, the communication, if the person is speaking loudly without any problem to express, the fire element is really in balance. There are also emotions which are connected to the fire element, and they're very important, because usually someone who is suffering with some cardiovascular problem is having problem with one of these emotions. So there is joy of life usually, and this joy of life, where is no joy of life, it leads to the earth element, which is also weakened if the fire element is already in disbalance. So then we have this diabetes, and diabetes is usually very much connected with high blood pressure, with cardiovascular system problems, other problems. There can be also stroke or another heart attack. It really depends, but these two are pretty much connected. So joy of life is very important. And if you ask someone if he is happy, usually it's the question which stops the time, because we have usual phrases like "how are you doing" and so on, and the others are just answering yes, okay, good. But if you ask them, are you really happy, or do you feel happy, then these people usually stop and they must say, not really, because I have this problem or I need to solve this. So if you are able to take out or sometimes you need to dig the problems out of the very, very deep inside of the person, then you will find out that there are very few people they really feel happy. So that's why we have so many people which are suffering with high blood pressure, which are suffering with the varices or another problems, because they don't feel happy in their life. And happiness is opening the heart, and then the heart can pump the blood into the veins, and we feel that we are alive. This is something which is very important, and we should always keep it in mind, that the heart is really important and we should work for it, and we should try out to feel happy. We should try to find the happiness, even in small things. So tomorrow, if you will do for yourself some nice breakfast, enjoy it because it's Sunday, and you will do so much for your heart. So just step by step, because we are running like the hamster in its circle, and we need to go to work. We have so many duties we need to fill during the day. We are under the pressure of so many things we have to do, under the pressure from work, under the pressure of I don't know, of the loan we have, so many things. And this chain is sometimes really mortal for so many people. That's why we need, even we have to do so many things, because the system is done like this. And we want to live in the system, and we want to be alive. So, but we need to work also for a little bit to find out some pieces of happiness, because in this we will take care of our fire element, of our heart, and then uh, we will be not only happy, but we will have even much more energy. That's why it's very important. Uh, so the emotions are happiness, joy of life, love as well. But this is not like the love that we need to feel to someone, but also we need to feel the love of ourselves. This is very important thing, because once we love ourselves, we can love the others. So always we need to start by ourselves. So I need to start by myself, then I can help the others. On the other hand, we have also sadness. Overjoy is very, very dangerous for heart, because heart is very sensitive, as I already said. And sometimes, if once these people are in the state of overjoyness, then sometimes they can even have the heart attack. There is also another emotion, which is anxiety. This is very hard, disturbing emotion, and we should be careful for this. So, as you can see, that the fire element can be really strong, but it's very sensitive. If we can see the virtue, there's the passion. So if you can see the South nations of the earth, or even the Europe, then you can see the Spanish, you can see the Italians, you can see the Greeks. They're really full of fire. They're emotional. They have passion for everything they do. And I think this passion is also disappearing from the population, especially for the youngsters. It's very, very tough to see nowadays the youngsters. They are really passionate for something, and sometimes these people are really like flat. So you don't see the sinusoids, you don't see the passion, you don't see the emotions. And I think this is very important for the heart, because we need to be passionate for something. Because the passion brings us happiness. Because if we are doing something with passion, then the result, even it's sometimes very not so great, we feel happy, because we are doing something which is fulfilling us, which we love. This is also why we need to keep our hobbies. We need to do things we love. And also, as I already saw, that nowadays people don't know how to find out what is good for them. So I always tell, okay, if you're doing something and you are not let's say tired after this, or you feel full of energy during this activity, then this is the right one. And do it as much as you can, because it brings you energy, it brings you happiness, it brings you passion, and once you have the fire element in balance, then the other elements are also getting into the balance, and they don't need to work to add the energy to this element. So this is very important. Also, we can feel the heart, like if we are doing something we really love, we are really, you can feel the warmth of the heart. So just try it. I think this is really nice exercise we can do, and it's very important. And the population is set it up for the brain and for mind, and we need to always calculate and we need to think. No, we need to feel. The feeling is most important. And once something is going from the heart, this is the right and pure thing which we should follow. This is the fire element, and this is the heart which we need to follow, because this is the spirit of Shen according to the Chinese medicine, and it helps you to find the good direction in your life. And I know it's not easy, and it's always easy to say that, but it's very hard to do it, but we should try. Yes, the climate is hot in fire element. As I already said, the days are becoming very warm, very hot in this season. And it's also a big change, because we have the spring, which is very windy usually. And now we are getting to the hot weather without winds, but also with the storms. And storms are the fire element, pure fire element. And once the storm is too much, too strong, the people with the cardiovascular problems are suffering so much. It's it's sometimes too much for them. It's too strong. And the fire element is usually full of the thunderstorms. That's why. The colors are red, orange, and purple. So if you want to support the fire element, you can wear these colors on your clothes. And if you have too much of fire, so these people are sweating, they are usually red in the face, or they are getting red very soon after some movements. These people should wear blue colors, because these blue colors are calming down the fire element, and they are cooling them down. So these people, they are having too much fire. They need to cool down a little bit. Also, there are special hours during the day, which we can see that there can be some problem. So the heart and the fire element on its top is around the noontime. So these people who are having the cardiovascular problems are usually sleepy or exhausted, or they're having uh, the heartbeats usually too much in these hours. So many people with a heart attack are getting around the noontime, especially after the lunch. So be careful, and these people should should be on diet. And once the days are very hot, it's very important, and it's also very dangerous to have the barbecue. For these people, barbecue is too much, because it's heavy usually, and it's fire. So you are adding fire to the fire in yourself, which is already too much, too strong. So these people should eat salads or something which is cooling down. The good things are the yogurts or another cooling stuff, cooling groceries, which are really calming down the heart. So in these cases, barbecue is really something which can be life threatening, I would say. There is also the evening, which is on the top for pericardium and triple burner, which is also fire element, but usually for the cardiovascular system is most important the noon time. And yes, from 11 to 1 a.m. to 1 p.m. So these hours are usually very critical. And as we know, especially in June and on the beginning of July, the noontime can be really hot, and the sun is very sharp. So that's why these people should be careful. So as we can see that we have so many cardiovascular diseases like heart failure, arrhythmia, heart valve disease, and so on. But we should really think where the source of the problem is. Because like for the heart failure, it's usually the problem in fire element. But as we can see the high blood pressure, there can be problem in kidneys. There can be also some blockade which we need to support and to make disappear uh, through the wood element. So there are so many ways. Also, when we have atherosclerosis, there is absolutely the wood element problem, which is actually expressing itself in the fire already. And there are so many problems in cardiovascular system, which we can actually solve, uh, helping the another element than the fire. So of course, heart failure is very dangerous and should be treated by the doctors. Definitely, most most of the cardiovascular diseases should be under the control of the doctor. That's, I think, something very important, because you can be, in these cases, you can be support for the clients, but you shouldn't be the main person which will cure these people. That's something which is really important. But with energy we can support these people so much, and we know how to make their life much in higher quality, because actually they are having so many limitations with these diseases. So we can make them happier and their life easier, even they are already sick. So I just wanted to show you that there are so many diseases, but we should look on these from the different point of view, because the Western medicine is focused on the disease, but we need to find the source. So once the disease of the cardiovascular system is treated by the Western medicine, we can work on another element, which is actually sometimes the source of the problem. But be careful with these clients, and all the doses should be very low, and we should always try and we should go step by step. So in these problems, less is more, let's say. So I always support these clients with 1 or 2 energy products, not more, because we need to see the results. Plus, they have already the treatments from the Western medicine. So we don't want to make a big chaos in the body, and also we need to go really very slowly, because the cardiovascular system is very important and very sensitive, and that's why we need to treat it also very let's say with a care. So we have here our best friends for the cardiovascular system. So the Corolan, Micocard, and Ruticelit are designed for the fire element. However, as I already said, once we want to go, especially in the case of the high blood pressure, which is caused by, for example, kidneys, we can start with a Corolan in very small doses, but also we can help ourselves with the Renol. And especially in the fire season, Renol could be a really nice choice, because it's cooling down the system, and if it's taking out some emotions like the fear, which can be the fear which was really deep inside the body and kidneys. And this fear can be also from the childhood. So these clients already don't know and don't remember, but the fear is still there, and it's pressing and creating the high blood pressure. So if we apply the Renol in this case, we can take out the fears, but these fears won't cause the problems, because the days are longer, they are sunny, so there won't be some really like bad feelings from these fears, because they won't be so huge. That's why I always like to work with the Renol in this season, because it's calming down the fire and also works with the kidneys. So you can work with Renol with no limitations, but be careful again with the doses, because once we are working on the cardiovascular system and kidneys as well, so these two systems are very important and very sensitive, and Renol uh, can have these reactions. That's why we need to be very careful, and again with the small doses. Also in fire element, I'm always using the phytomineral, which is great because the people with the cardiovascular system problems are sweating so many times, and they are losing the minerals very easily and very fast. So we need to add the minerals into the body once it's losing during the day. That's why the phytomineral is really nice. But be careful, phytomineral is also, when it's too much, it can be problem with the kidneys. That's why we need to know that the client is okay and won't make overdosage with the phytomineral. But phytomineral is really important for such people, because it's really adding the minerals, and once the minerals are in balance in the body, then also the mind is calming down and heart is calming down. So sometimes even with the arrhythmia can also be based on the mineral disbalance. So sometimes when the people which are like sport based people, they already nowadays they know how to take care of their body, I believe. However, if they are lacking of the minerals, they can have the beats of the heart which can look like arrhythmia. But really, phytomineral is really nice product for this. So Coralen, once you have the client which has the high blood pressure, which is caused by some psychic pressure, which I used to have the client, which was really the huge CEO of one company, and was really under the pressure, and his high blood pressure was too much. So he was taking the pills, and he always said that once he goes for the vacation, he measured his blood pressure, and he said that after 2 days on the vacation, his blood pressure was just balanced. It was okay. So he knew that this high blood pressure was caused by his job. So he didn't want to take the pills because he knew that there are some side effects which these pills are bringing, and he knew the source of the problem, but he couldn't help himself because the pressure was too much. So I gave him Corollan, and the Corollan was his best friend for 5 years until he retired. And once he retired, he didn't need even the Corollan. But with Corollan, he said that he felt much happier. Uh, he also felt something like support. So he really loved this product, and the doctor thought that he is taking the pills because we really were able to put down the high blood pressure. So once something is caused by the psychic, you can use the Corollan very easily. Corollan represents the fire element. So every time you have the old people which are really which they don't have the joy of life, there is a great couple which you can use, and it's Corollan with phytomineral. Or you can also use Mikoren, which is really nice product for the elderly ones which are having problems with the cardiovascular system. And also you can use the King Kong, but I think the Corollan would be really nice. Corollan is also working with not only with the cardiovascular system problems, but with the hormonal disorders, which are again taking out the happiness of our life. That's why the Corollan sometimes can solve problems which can't be solved by the either ways. And Corollan also brings you the elasticity of the blood vessels and capillaries, which is really good once you have someone with varices and another problems with the veins or with the blood vessels. So that's why Corolane is so good product. And even if you don't have problems, but someone had in your family, so genetics is also very strong, and we can take the Corolane as a preparation or as a prevention in this season. So again, we can support fire element with Corolane without the symptoms. Just we can have it because it's really good product for this season. As I already many times said, that the energy is actually the prevention medicine, but we always use it in when some problems occurs. But if you want to support yourselves, and you can add a little bit of fire to your life, you can try with Corolane. It's really nice. And sensitive people sometimes feel that their heart is opening after the Corolane. It really works. It also works if you can't sleep and if you can't stop your mind. Because once you can stop your mind with Corolane, you can open your heart and your heart will let you sleep. It's also very good because it brings the oxygen to the heart and to the brain. That's why it's a very good product for, I think, all the cardiovascular system diseases. It works very well with the stroke, and the stroke is really, I think, very common these days, because I think we are using too much our mind. That's why. It also works very well with the cholesterol level, and cholesterol is can be dangerous for the cardiovascular system. That's why we need to take care of it as well. So the Corolane really can work in the wide range of the problems, but it's very great for the cardiovascular system as a whole. So you can use it always. We have also MicoCard. So MicoCard is great because once you have someone who is too much sensitive and can't, because sometimes the Corolane can be too much for someone, and I saw the people which had the feeling of shaking. So if you have it, you would better start with a MicoCard, because MicoCard doesn't have the reversion reaction, and it brings stable, let's say, stable effect, and doesn't work that much with the emotions. So it can be the first step. Then you can use Corolane. Also, so many people which are having cardiovascular system diseases, they are also nowadays taking uh, the medication for I don't know, for depressions, or they are having these another like psychic problems. So MicoCard would be definitely better than Corolane if you have someone with this indication. Also works with the cholesterol, which is really nice. But if you have someone who is having the heart problem caused by the cholesterol and by the fat, then we always start with Regalen. So this is the Regalen doing, and in these cases, the Regalen with Mycohepar is great combination, because it works much faster with the cholesterol and with the livers. So you can support the fire element from the wood element. So yes, Micocard is also good because it supports the kidneys. So this is very good effect for the high blood pressure, because you are supporting the fire element and as well the water element, but there is no reversion usually for the Micocard. So that's why I would say it's really good product. And we have good combinations here you can use in like for the cardiovascular system. So as I already said, Corolan, Revity, and Phytomineral you can use always. And if you have someone who is having the high blood pressure and you know that there are some fears deep inside, you can switch the Corolan with Renol. And if you add the Revity to Renol, then the Renol, if even if it's taking out the deep fears, the Revity will be like the light on at the end of the tunnel. So it will be someone who will take the client for the hand and will pass him through the tunnel. So the Revity is always really nice combination with Renault, and it's not only with the cardiovascular system, but sometimes with the depressions. So if you need to cure the depressions and the client already had Micocard or Renault, you can switch in the fire element season very easily to Renault and Revity. This is really nice combination, and the reversion will be very like low in this season. So Corolan can be also very nicely combined with the Stimaral, because with the Stimaral we can support the focus, we can support the digestion system, which is also good because if you have someone with the cardiovascular system problems, these people are having problems with the digestion usually. Yes, I think there is another product which is Vitamarine, and Vitamarine I think can be taken on the daily basis, because we all are having not enough of vitamin D, and this vitamin is very important for the cardiovascular system, for the mental diseases. It's just important, and you won't do mistake if you add it into any problem with the cardiovascular system. There is also Celitin, which is really nice product, supporting the memory, supporting the heart, supporting the blood vessels. And I believe that the Celitin would be really nice, especially for elderly ones. So you can support their life with the Celitin, which is really nice. And you won't do mistake, because even they are suffering with the cardiovascular system diseases, Celitin can be always used. Yes, and also I would say the Spiron is really nice because it's supporting the heart and supporting good mood. So I love Spiron every time and anytime. And I think that you can support yourself, especially in the evenings. So you count down, and also your heart will be count down, And this is also very important. Also, if you need uh, to cover the water element and fire element, you can easily use Corolan and Micoran or Renol with Micocart. These combinations are possible, and also you can use Corolan and Micohepar. This is also a good combination, especially for the cholesterol and high blood pressure. What I always wanted to say, Annona is very important for cardiovascular system because Annona is bringing joy of life. It's usually not so much well known, but Annona is a product which belongs to the fire element and to the heart. So it's not only for the oncological diseases, and it has so many good effects. However, it lowers the blood pressure, and it brings the joy of life, and also supports the heart. And Annona has also the side effects to the wood element and as well to the earth element, which is amazing because you can support actually 3 elements at once. And so sometimes Annona can be really nice product which you can use for the cardiovascular diseases, and can be the starter actually, because it doesn't have the side effects, it doesn't have this reversion reaction, and it usually has so many benefits. So this is another tip for you where you can start. And finally, because we have less than 5 minutes, do you have some questions to the cardiovascular system? If you don't, then I will go to the questions we received. So, which energy product would support obese or overweight people to lose weight? Yes, it's usually Regalen. We are using Regalen for obese people because it really relieves the blockades. It works with the taste. So these people are usually eating too much sugar or too much fat, and thanks to the effects of the Regalen, which is supporting the livers, these people won't have such strange tastes, and they feel actually the Regalen supports the digestion system, so digestion is much faster, and it's helping. However, Regalen won't save them at all. They need to do some activity, they need to get the diet, and I mean that they need to eat. However, they need to, especially, I think the nutrition therapists are the best way where to start, and Regalen or Micohepar or both of them can be really nice support during the cure. However, these people need to start in their mind. So they really need to be sure that they want to lose their weight and they are ready to start. Because once they start and after 1 week they will stop, it doesn't work. So, but Regalen definitely. And also Phytomineral, I would say that would be really nice. There are so many products. I would say also Chicoffee would be nice because Chicoffee works with the metabolism. Also the green products, green food. You can start with so many things, but I think Regalen is the best. Which products would help people with Alzheimer and how to stop cognitive functions and memory? Yes. And we are back to the fire element because Alzheimer and memory and cognitive functions are usually the things of the fire element. So in this case, I would definitely use Corolan or Micocard, definitely Celitin, and Phytomineral and Vitamarin. With these products, you won't make mistake. But with Alzheimer, it's really, really great to start with Corolan, or you can also use Stimaral. You can switch, but Corolan will be number one, let's say. How do we decide what is the right dosage and what factors do we need to bear in mind when it comes to dosage? Yes, the dosage, this is the never ending question. Especially for the pentagram products, I would say that the smaller dosages are always better. And it's very important to keep in mind on client that these products are very strong. So even there is some reversion reaction, and we really need to describe what can happen, or just give him the phone number, or the contact, and these people should not hesitate when something is occurring like this. The most important thing is when the reversion reaction is here, we shouldn't stop. We should continue because the reversion reaction is good, actually, because especially for the chronic diseases, this is the sign that something is going on, and we were able to wake up the problem, and this is the sign that it can be solved. So the reversion reaction is welcome. However, we shouldn't stop taking the product. So the dosage can be at minimum, however, should be still there. And what helps me a lot, if I really don't know, there are kilos for the drops. So we have, one drop for 10 kilos. So you can have this measurement, or you can use another methods like the automatic drawing, or you just think of the dosage. And I think, like, for the most of the drops, the 5 drops 2 or 3 times a day is okay for most of the people. For the sensitive people, let's say 2 drops 3 times a day can be starting point. And then you can higher the dosage, or you can lower it. It depends. Especially for those who are having the energy and who are taking energy for the first time, I would really try to keep in touch with the client, because it's very important. So the dosage, and for the For other products, like for the capsules, I would say that we can follow the instructions on the package. I think this is very possible, but for the drops, be very careful, especially for the pentagram, because there can be reversion. Like for the Grapofit, depends on the problem, but I think there can be overdosage with the Grapofit. So in case you feel that you are becoming sick, or you have the urinary problems, there can be also 30 drops at once. Or if someone is suffering with a migraine and it's starting, there is the way how to try to stop it, and sometimes it really works. It's just at once take around 30 drops of Regalen, but just once, not more, and it can work. So the dosage is something which is can be very discutable, because for someone these products are too strong, someone doesn't feel anything, so it really depends on the person. But I think for this dosage could be enough, let's say. And always be careful, because so many people are already used to, or they don't want to say that they are taking some medications, some medicaments. So sometimes there can be the combination which we don't like, or we don't want to. So this can be problem. I've never heard that there would be some great problem with the energy, and I always say that we can't harm someone with energy. However, sometimes, especially pentagram products, can bring some emotions which are for someone too much, or these people don't know how to work with these emotions. So that's why the dosage to me is always lower better, and then you can always hide. As I know that the people need effects as soon as possible, but we also want them not to have too much emotions at once. So I believe that that was enough for the dosages, and I don't see another questions here in chat. So I believe today's webinar is at the end. So I would love to thank you so much for your attention, and I'm looking forward for the next webinar. And the end, I will leave to the Martina. So thank you so much, and see you soon. Bye-bye.
Michelle, thank you very much for your webinar today. It was again very awesome. I have already prepared Renault and Miko card for myself. So, yeah, thank you for the inspiration as always. And for the participants, I would like to mention that our last webinar of this season will be on June 14th. Our topic will be skin problems. So you are very welcome to join us again. And I can only say I wish you very nice rest of Saturday. I'm sending regards everywhere where you are. I am very grateful that you connect with us and that you try to create the energy family abroad. So thank you for that, and we will be doing our best to bring you great topics and great webinars in the future. So I will stop the recording now.